Have you ever felt a pang in your own chest when you saw a friend get hurt, or felt your eyes well up just from watching a moving scene in a film? It's a universal human experience, that strange, powerful connection we feel with others. But what if I told you that this feeling, this empathy, isn't just some vague emotion? What if it's a complex, physical process happening inside your brain? A blueprint that can be understood and even changed. You might find yourself struggling to connect with people sometimes. Perhaps you feel emotionally drained after interacting with others. Or maybe you find it difficult to understand where someone else is coming from, leading to misunderstandings and frustration. You might even feel a sense of detachment, as if you're watching the world from behind a glass wall. This isn't just a personality quirk. It can be a genuine struggle, making relationships feel like hard work, and leaving you feeling isolated, even when you're surrounded by people. You want to connect, to understand, to feel that sense of shared humanity, but something seems to be blocking the signal. What's really going on inside your head when these connections break down? To demystify empathy, we need to journey into the intricate wiring of your brain. Think of your brain as having a specialized empathy network. A key player in this network is a group of cells called mirror neurons. These remarkable neurons fire not only when you perform an action, but also when you observe someone else performing that same action. When you see someone smile, your mirror neurons associated with smiling begin to fire, creating a faint echo of that smile in your own mind. It's like your brain is running a simulation of their experience, allowing you to understand their actions and intentions from the inside out. This forms the very foundation of emotional resonance, the feeling of I feel what you feel. But understanding isn't just about mimicry. It's also about analysis and context. This is where another crucial brain region, the prefrontal cortex, steps in. Located right behind your forehead, the prefrontal cortex is your brain's executive control center. It's responsible for higher-level thinking, decision-making, and regulating your emotional responses. When your mirror neurons fire in response to seeing someone's sadness, it's your prefrontal cortex that processes this raw data. It helps you understand why they might be sad, to consider their perspective, and to decide on an appropriate response. This cognitive component of empathy, often called perspective taking, is what allows you to say, I understand what you're going through, and truly mean it. The third critical component of this empathy blueprint is the insula. Tucked away deep inside the brain, the insula acts as a bridge between what your body is feeling and your conscious emotional awareness. It integrates the signals from your mirror neurons and the cognitive analysis from your prefrontal cortex with your own internal bodily sensations. When you see someone in pain and you get that gut-wrenching feeling, that's your insula at work. It translates the observed experience into a genuine, visceral feeling within your own body, making the empathy profound and real. Together, these three systems, mirror neurons, the prefrontal cortex, and the insula, work in a delicate, synchronized dance to create the rich, multi-layered experience we call empathy. However, this intricate neural network can sometimes be compromised, leading to significant challenges in social and emotional functioning. Conditions like post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, for example, can profoundly impact this system. Trauma can place the brain in a constant state of high alert, making the prefrontal cortex less effective at regulating emotional responses. A person with PTSD might experience overwhelming emotional flooding when faced with another's distress, causing them to shut down completely as a self-protective mechanism. Their empathy isn't gone, it's just dysregulated and too painful to process. Similarly, addiction can hijack the brain's reward and decision-making circuits, which heavily involve the prefrontal cortex. The relentless pursuit of a substance can override other priorities, including the processing of social and emotional cues. The brain's focus narrows, and its capacity to engage in the complex task of perspective-taking can diminish. It's not that the individual becomes inherently uncaring, but rather that the addiction chemically alters the brain's ability to prioritize and process empathetic signals. Certain personality disorders, such as narcissistic personality disorder or antisocial personality disorder, are also characterized by significant empathy deficits. In these cases, the issue often lies in a breakdown of the entire empathy network. There may be reduced activity in the insula and prefrontal cortex when observing others' emotions. This can result in a diminished capacity for both feeling what others feel or effective empathy, and intellectually understanding their perspective, or cognitive empathy, leading to behaviors that seem callous or manipulative because the internal feedback loop that guides most people as social interactions is fundamentally impaired. The good news is that your brain is not a static, unchangeable organ. It possesses a remarkable quality called neuroplasticity, which is the ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Just like you can build muscle by going to the gym, you can strengthen your brain's empathy circuits through targeted practice and intention. This means that even if empathy feels like a struggle for you right now, your brain has the inherent capacity to change and grow. Now, it's important to mention that the role of mirror neurons, while a compelling theory, has faced some controversy within the scientific community. Some researchers argued that their function in humans has been overstated and that fMRI scans, which measured blood flow in the brain, can't definitively prove that these specific neurons are the sole drivers of empathy. However, what is undisputed is that a network of brain regions is consistently activated when we experience empathy. fMRI studies have repeatedly shown that when you watch someone experience pain, areas like the anterior insula and the anterior cingulate cortex, key parts of the empathy network, light up in your own brain, mirroring the neural activity of the person in pain. This confirms that empathy has a clear and observable neural signature. Furthermore, looking at conditions like autism spectrum disorder or ASD provides fascinating insight. It was once thought that individuals with autism lacked empathy. We now have a much more nuanced understanding. Many people on the spectrum experience intense, affective empathy. They feel others' emotions very deeply, sometimes to an overwhelming degree. Their challenge often lies with cognitive empathy, the ability to interpret social cues and understand another's perspective in a way that is considered neurotypical. Their empathy blueprint isn't missing. It's simply wired differently, highlighting the diverse ways our brains can process the social world. So, how can you actively harness your brain's neuroplasticity to build a stronger empathy blueprint? It starts with mindful intention. You can begin by practicing active listening. When someone is talking to you, put away distractions and focus entirely on their words, tone, and body language. Try to understand the feeling behind their words, not just the literal meaning. After they finish, try paraphrasing what you heard back to them, with a phrase like, "So, what I'm hearing is that you feel." This not only confirms your understanding, but also actively engages your prefrontal cortex in the act of perspective taking. Another powerful technique is to consciously expand your social circle and engage with stories from different perspectives. Read books, watch documentaries, and listen to podcasts featuring people whose lives and experiences are vastly different from your own. This practice is like a workout for your cognitive empathy. By exposing your brain to new viewpoints, you are literally forging new neural pathways, making it easier and more automatic for your brain to step outside of its own default perspective. You can also practice love and kindness meditation, a technique where you focus on sending well wishes to yourself and others. Studies have shown that this practice can increase positive emotions and strengthen the neural connections associated with empathy and compassion. The key takeaway is that empathy is not a magical, innate gift that you either have or you don't. It is a neurological skill orchestrated by a specific network within your brain. This blueprint, involving mirror neurons, the prefrontal cortex, and the insula, can be affected by life experiences and health conditions, but it is not set in stone. Thanks to the incredible power of neuroplasticity, your brain is capable of change. You have the ability to intentionally strengthen your empathy circuits. So, don't just be a passive observer of your own emotions. Take an active role in shaping your neural landscape. Choose one small step you can take this week to practice empathy. Will you try active listening with a friend? Will you read an article or watch a film about a culture completely different from your own? The path to deeper connection, understanding, and compassion is not out there somewhere. It's right inside your head, waiting for you to begin construction. Start building your better empathy blueprint today. Subscribe for more videos about brain science, neuroscience, artificial intelligence, and human cognition. Turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next.